Well, Steven Barrett and I have been discussing the President Donald Trump addressed the United Nations today, and frankly he let rip. He had a go at London, saying that all of our migrants, our asylum seekers, repay our kindness with crime. He said London's now horrible, it's changed, we have a terrible, terrible mayor. He hates Sadiq Khan, and he said that we want to go to Sharia law. I'm not sure that's true, but I know where he's coming from. He also talked astonishingly about the United Nations and the fact that the United States rejects the idea that mass numbers of people from foreign lands can be permitted to travel halfway around the world, trample our borders, violate our sovereignty, cause unmitigated crime and deplete our social safety net. Well, they don't allow that in America anymore, but they do over here in Britain, as we know. Let's listen to the President. This is him on Sadiq Khan, London and Sharia law.
I have to say, I look at London where you have a terrible mayor, terrible, terrible mayor. And it's been so changed, so changed. Now they want to go to Sharia law, but you're in a different country. You can't do that. Both the immigration and their suicidal energy ideas will be the death of Western Europe if something is not done immediately. This cannot be sustained.
He is so right, and I wish there were some British politicians who would echo what he's saying. And here he is, Stephen, talking about the United Nations and, if you like, the global migrant crisis.
The UN is supposed to stop invasions, not create them and not finance them. In the United States, we reject the idea that mass numbers of people from foreign lands can be permitted to travel halfway around the world, trample our borders, violate our sovereignty, cause unmitigated crime, and deplete our social safety net. I'm not mentioning names. I see it, and I can call every single one of them out. You're destroying your countries. They're being destroyed. Europe is in serious trouble. They've been invaded by a force of illegal aliens like nobody's ever seen before. Illegal aliens are pouring into Europe. Nobody's doing anything to change it, to get them out.
Well, primarily there, Stephen, he's pointing the finger at Britain, isn't he? And he's right. And he's right. And what a tragedy that we have to have the American president telling us the terrible things that are wrong with this country. We don't seem to have a single politician over here with his gift for communication and with the guts to tell it like it is. As you say, it was a great speech, and we're never going to hear it from Starmer. We're never going to hear it from Badenoch or anyone else over here. Maybe just Nigel Farage on a good day. But yeah, it's America telling us where we're going wrong.
What's deeply moving is that he genuinely and obviously has a real affection for the people of Britain. So everybody who voted 9 out of 10 in that poll on Palestine, he has a love and affection for them. And he spoke lovingly about the North Sea and what a gift it is to us and what a gift it could be. The other incredibly striking thing about what the president has said is that I started in the media and on social media 5 years ago. And if I'd said what he'd said, I would have been torn to shreds. I'd have no reputation. I'd have nothing left intact, because that's the country we were. Not a country where we didn't know what the truth was, but a country where we weren't allowed to say what the truth was. And the most common criticism I've had from other friends, perhaps friends who are MPs or prominent lawyers or just other successful professionals, is, oh, don't you think you're taking a terrible risk saying the truth? And it's like, why am I having to take a terrible risk saying the truth? And for Donald to just come out with all of it, truth bomb after truth bomb after truth bomb, was just remarkable for me to hear. Yeah. The United Nations does not exist to facilitate mass migration, but that's what it's doing. The UN does not exist to promote terror, yet it supported Hamas, and Hamas did not build these terror tunnels on their own. They ran a program for water pipes into Gaza, which Hamas turned into rocket launchers. Yeah. You know, we are facilitating our own demise. This is insane. I don't know any other word for it, but the Donald has come among us to wake us all up.
As he said last week during his state visit, that migration, the amount of migration we're allowing, illegal and legal, destroys countries from within. It was a very good phrase, and we are destroying ourselves from within. He also talks about our suicidal energy policies. You know, this rejection of North Sea gas and oil, Ed Miliband's absolutely incoherent mess, green nonsense that just does not make sense and is costing us a fortune. Our energy bills are 5 times less than they are in America because we won't frack. We've stopped exploring, we've stopped drilling in the North Sea, and so on and so forth, and replacing it all with more and more windmills, more and more solar panels at great expense, and it's costing us a fortune and it's ruining our economy. We should frack, we should drill, baby, drill, save every citizen in this country a fortune on their energy bills, and repair our broken economy. Our green obsession is ruining our economy. He's right, isn't he?
He's absolutely right. And what was really very charming about his speech, because I think he is quite funny. I also
I agree with that. Yeah.
But he sort of had a little dig at the Prime Minister, because he just said, I said to him every day the North Sea, and then the next day the North Sea, and then the next day the North Sea, because I didn't want him to miss it. I felt like he was going to forget. and that is quite a good criticism of our Prime Minister, who does seem to live from crisis to crisis and from day to day. And if the Donalds basically Donald Trump could rescue his prime ministership, because if he took his advice, if he actually drilled in the North Sea, fracked the shale gas, and brought the energy price, which is, as you point, stratospherically high, brought it down low, the economy would boom, we'd all be happier, pensioners wouldn't freeze in winter, and maybe Starmer would face a political future.
Yeah, trouble is he won't listen, Stephen, but I wish he would. Stephen, great to talk to you. That's Steven Barrett, barrister. We'll be back in a minute.